I'm Maria Ressa, and this is Rappler's continuing coverage of PH Vote Elections 2016. We're coming to you live from the Rappler newsroom, so if it's a little noisy, you'll know why. We'd like to acknowledge our partners, PPCRB, NAMFREL, who is going to be doing the random manual audit, Globe, 7-Eleven, 7-Election, OLX, and Radius, Starbucks, and Coca-Cola FEMSA. We are here now with senatorial candidate Risa Hontiveros. I want to ask her about her journey as a woman and a politician and the challenges that lies ahead in what now appears to be a Duterte presidency. Risa, thank you for coming.
Thank you too for inviting me, Maria.
I kept saying this morning, third time's the charm.
Yes,
Every time
so.
I read the results, and you guys, by the way, can actually go and check the results out on the live results page. Risa, what made this time different?
I think really message focus, message discipline, and then of course part of what was coming across, I think and I hope, was this passion about really building a universal healthcare system with our kababayan, continuing to advance the agenda of the basic sectors among whom I've learned, lived, worked, and kung makapagtrabaho ako sa Senado, I will continue to do that. And then lalo na towards the tail end of the campaign, siguro yung mensahe na we really need to keep on building strong institutions. And if I get to work again in the legislature, I will try to bring that strength and independence, especially in relation to past and possible future authoritarian impulses among us, our society.
Well, right before we go back, I want you to look at the results with me. You can go ahead and show my screen. For the Senate, we have Frank Drilon. So this is 90.84% of the precincts reporting as of 11 p.m. 11 a.m. That should be 11 a.m. Frank Drilon is number one. Joel Villanueva, who's been number one this entire time up until this morning, he slips to number two. Vic Soto is number three. Ping Lacson, number four. Dick Gordon, number five. Ana Tarisha, this is your formal name.
Yes.
Mig Zubiri, then Risa Hontiveros is number seven. Manny Pacquiao follows you. You jumped up ahead of Manny Pacquiao. Kiko Pangilinan, Sherwin Gatchalian, Ralph Recto, and Laila De Lima.
Hey, Laila.
Yeah, coming up, who's coming up behind number 12? Number 13, and there's about 1 million votes separating them. Francis Tolentino, Serge Osmeña is a re-electionist who's coming in number 14, and Martin Romualdez. So this is where it stands right now. In the 2013 elections, we saw different Risas. So you said that part of what actually worked this time was universal healthcare, the types of messaging. Actually, we noticed it. You focused, and you stayed focused on this message.
Healthy Pinoy, Healthy Pinas.
Right,
Yeah.
right. Even during the senatorial debate,
Yes.
you were very focused on this. So, from 2013, we saw you shift several times because you had there are many different Risas in there. So, what was the difference from 2013 to this one, aside from focusing?
The difference was that I realized na kahit 3 buwan yan, it's really only 90 days. It's really a short time to introduce myself to many people who didn't know me enough in 2010 and 2013. At saka nakita ng team ko, nakita ng akabayan, from an issue like health, kung saan may track record ako sa House noon, sa PhilHealth noon, you can practically talk about almost any other issue na importante sa ating mga Pilipino. And that showed in one of the surveys during the campaign. It was a top concern of us Filipinos, 60 or 70+%.
Yes.
At saka, I could talk about health, I can, and I will continue to with almost any sector. So nakatulong para ipakilala ko in a very concrete way. But health itself is a door. It's a unifying issue first of all.
Yeah.
And then it's a door through which we can touch on and work together on other advocacies that are important to us as Filipinos.
These campaigns are very different from the past one. At least that's our impression watching it. What's different about the 2016 election?
Ang taas ng stakes, Maria. And I think everybody, not just us candidates and our parties and coalitions were aware of that. I'm sure and I trust na yung mga kababayan natin, yung mga botante natin, alam nila, the
Yes.
stakes were so high. Between pagpapatuloy ba ng ganitong set ng mga reforma, pagpapalawak niyan, deepening them, or would it be a more urgent, very gut reaction to also deeply felt issues na maaaring may frustration or impatience na hindi ganap na natugunan. And maybe there was a push and pull between those two things, no? A sense na, hey, kailangan generational yung change na tinatrabaho natin. Maybe one administration is not enough. We need, if it's generational, so what, 20 years? 3 admins? Or, yun na nga, that impatience. Oh, sa 6 na taon, we didn't solve all the problems. So, we need to change our approach. So, medyo merong ganong ano talaga, merong ganong debate among people.
This was also one of the most engaged, and the other analysts have used the word vicious.
Unfortunately, yes.
Why is that, and how did you handle it?
Why is that? I guess tayo bilang mga tao, we can range from, yun na nga, the very gut, the very visceral, very primal take on things, reaction kahit na to each other, to a more, well, civil, dialogical approach. How did I handle it? Well, alam naman natin bilang tao, bilang mamamayan, botante, mga aktivista, you just have to stay in there. Appreciate na people are really coming from how we feel and what we think about things at subukang i-engage in a constructive way. And as you said, like katulad sa Rappler debate, senatorial debate sa UP, just always try to link things back to health. Nabanggit ko kanina, health is a unifying issue.
Yes.
And I believe it's one of the issues na pwedeng magkaisa ang mga tao kahit na tayo na nag-away nung panahong eleksyong ito and on various issues. It can bring us together as a common concern na pwede nating trabahuin in the next few years. In a way, health can be a healing issue.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. Were you surprised by the rise of Bongbong Marcos?
That question is very special to me kasi, yun na nga, isa ako sa mga martial law babies at talagang signal experience sa akin yung EDSA People Power Revolution. It really, although I was an activist since my teenage years in high school, during the dictatorship, para sa akin yung EDSA talaga, at lalo na nanay ako ngayon, I'm the mom of 4 millennials, as a single mom, solo mom, parang all this time and until the time of this Bongbong vice presidential candidacy, importante talaga sa akin na never to forget. And then to teach the younger Filipinos, my kids, yung henerasyon nila na hindi libre yung kalayaan na meron tayo ngayon. Imperfect though it is, ito binayaran ng generation natin at mga nauna. So dapat pakahalagahan nila and they should use it responsibly, in an empowering, in a liberating way. Ganon din ka-high stakes sa akin yung pagbantay sa results ng vice presidential elections. Kaya, like many of us, hindi ako natulog ang alas 3 ng umaga kanina hanggat di naunahan ni Lenny, yung VP count. So, and I'm still hoping and praying that the last man standing will be a woman.
Ana Tabunda at Pulsatia said we probably would have to wait till 97% of the results are in before we know what the final results are going to be.
Wow.
The fact that Bongbong is doing so well, though, like Rudy Duterte, seems to say something about our society. What is that cushion that pushed him up? Why?
Well, siguro nagkulang din yung henerasyon natin and the ones before to really teach the young people what happened during the martial law dictatorship. Sabi nga ni Leni Robredo, di ba, hindi nagsisinungaling ang mga dato. So, ganun pa rin naman ang prinsipyo ko that I hope young people, millennials included, will also eventually internalize na lahat ng dapat maging accountable para sa panahon ng diktadura ay ay managot, no? Masingil. And then the mayor, I believe he addresses some issues that are really gut issues for our people na kailangan pa nating mas tugunan on such issues. If, as the people are speaking now, if this trend does not change, the people are speaking, the people have spoken. I could work with him on some of these issues, yung a strong stand against crime for peace and order, pero iba lang yung pamamaraan ko. Yung para sa security of tenure, para sa pagbabalik ng COCO levy funds sa maliliit na magnunyog, dispersing development outside Metro Manila. But I would continue to stand for yung non-negotiable dapat yung dignidad ng babae, karapatang pantao. So, masusuportahan ko siya on those gut issues na the people are speaking are important to them, na may magandang hangarin siya para sa bayan. Pero di rin naman ako magpipigil na magpuna at magpresenta ng alternatibo kapag kinakailangan. And that would have been my approach. That would be my approach whether as if I get to work in the Senate at bilang mamamayan sa kung sinong presidente na mauupo.
Rudy Duterte has never lost an election.
Wow.
No.
Buti pa siya.
From 1988 until now.
Right.
I mean, he must tap into something that Filipinos want.
I guess, yeah.
This must be indicative of something. I mean, oftentimes the people we select are we hold a mirror to ourselves. What does he tap into despite
Something primal, something gut, something very visceral, something very emotional. Tayo namang mga Pilipino ay isang emotional din na sambayanan. So instructive yung ganyang electoral record pala niya na he has always won an election. And speaking as someone who has lost twice before, instructive para sa akin yon. Both sa mga natalo na dati at saka siguro sa hamon sa amin, sa atin as activists, as politicians, as occasional electoral animals, na may hamon pa rin talaga in terms of voters' education, na yung mas balancing pagpapahalaga sa the election issues that move our feelings and also the election issues na would appeal to our mind para mas holistic din ang approach natin mga Pilipino sa what's at stake sa eleksyon, paano tayo dapat mag-engage dito. After each election, yun na rin dapat ang mga leksyon na pabaon sa mga bagong administrasyon na uupo na, ito talaga what we Filipinos care about. So, dapat tugunan natin yan, silang bagong administrasyon.
Do issues ever actually win?
I like to believe so. I hope na itong strong showing so far ng Healthy Pinoy, Healthy Pinas ay nagpapatunay that an issue like health can, unite, can also mobilize, at saka can broaden a constituency. I mean, kung makatrabaho ako sa Senado, excited ako na yung mga bumoto para sa akin ay makakatrabaho sa actual work of passing policies to set up the pillars of a universal healthcare system para yung bagong administrasyon mula barangay hanggang nasyonal ay may tamang polisiya at may mandate to set up this system. Tingin ko kasi, and I said this during the Rappler debate, tingin ko realizable ito. It is a victory we can win within our lifetime.
You're making me think, because it's such a chicken or the egg. Are people listening to you because of Risa Hontiveros, which makes the issue important to them, or is the issue the one that brings Risa Hontiveros in? And I would actually say it's most likely you. It is personal. I mean, at least that seems to be one of the things these elections have shown. That it is still a personality-driven.
We're very personalistic sa mga relasyon natin kahit sa pang-araw-araw. And I believe that informs our behavior a lot also during elections. Pero yun na nga, one of the things na nabasa ko sa social media na natuwa naman ako na isa daw ako sa mga kandidato who's not just a candidate but through me, isang aktivista, na the movement is the candidate too. So sana, kung totoo yan, part ng evolution natin bilang mamamayan at bilang botante na kaya nating appreciate pareho yung messenger
Yeah.
at saka yung mensaheng
Right.
dala. And the messenger is not just a single individual. It can be collectives, party, movement,
Right.
koalisyon.
Right.
Tapos yung mensahe
Right.
na beyond an individual, beyond an administration, itong mga agenda, importante sa mamamayan, lalo na sa mahihirap.
What was it like to campaign with the Liberal Party? And this is a tough thing for someone like Mar Rojas, which is, you have to stay with the status quo and yet change at the same time. What was it like campaigning with the Liberal Party?
Yun naman ang sinasabi madalas ni Randy David, kina-quote niya si Althusser, isa sa mga paborito niyang political scientist, na to establish combat positions within the state.
Yes.
Ibig sabihin, dahil importante sa atin yung gobyerno, sinusubukan din nating makapasok doon. Para saan? Also to advance the changes we want in society. So, I am so proud to be fighting beside Secretary Mar and Rep. Lenny. Lumalaban kami ng marangal, ng tapat, and I'm proud na ang partido ko, Akbayan, we have been in coalition with the Liberal Party the past 7 years. Sinusuportahan, nakikiisa sa kanila sa mga reforma, lalo na yung civil at saka political reforms, yung mga anti-corruption, transparency and accountability. At the same time, tulad ng ugali ko sa kung sinong presidenteng ipoproklama ng COMELEC, disagreeing with them in principle on other issues. So, ganun din yung karanasan ko, campaigning for the third time bilang Akbayan, bilang bahagi ng Liberal Party slate. Na-appreciate ko na since 2010, si President Noy at yung partido niya have been the best space to fight for reforms. Isang spasyo rin na malaya ako, malayang Akbayan na magpuna. And ngayon, I'm still rooting that the last man standing will be a
It's a
woman.
woman. Let's go to that. The feminist side of you, the woman who stood up when it was still dangerous to stand up against the church and fight for the reproductive health bill that became a law, the feminist who's there. How do you react to a Duterte presidency?
Para sa akin talaga, non-negotiable yung dignidad nating mga babae. Our bodily integrity. So rape is not, never, ever a joke. It's not a joke for women who are victimized by and survive it. So, para sa akin, tuloy yung laban para gawing mas gender sensitive yung ating lipunan, yung politika natin, yung eleksyon natin, our governmental institutions, the work to advance women's participation, representation, and leadership. Also in the economy.
Yep.
At saka yung pagbubuo ng kultura na talagang pantay dignidad natin. Babae, lalaki, anuman ang sexual orientation at gender identity. So LGBTs as well.
The contradiction of Rudy Duterte. I mean, this was the piece I wrote in October where, the man he's sexist and yet he fights for women's rights, at least in Davao. The words that he says, our leader will have an impact on our culture.
Yes.
What do you think will happen? Who will change? Will Rudy Duterte change? Will the gains in the women's movement? There have been women who are at the forefront of the fight for women's rights who are extremely supportive of Rudy Duterte. Irene Santiago is one of the ones I was thinking, and she had actually had worked with Hillary Clinton on the Beijing Women's Conference. What impact do you think this will have? Will it be positive or negative for gender equality?
It's up to us, Maria. Tayong mga babae kailangan magtakda ng tone, ng agenda, ng pace. Kung magbabago si Mayor Duterte, nasa sa kanya lang yon bilang tao, bilang lalaki. But I think in large part, it's really up to us. At may red flags naman during the campaign. So I think na the stage is set for us to hold the line for women's dignity and to push. Not just vis-a-vis Mayor Duterte, pero yung buong lipunan natin na hindi talaga katatawanan, kundi isang pinaka-precious dapat na ugali nating mga Pilipino, yung pagrespeto sa mga babae.
Duterte's slogan is change is coming. Change really is coming anyway.
Every day.
Yeah, change is really, I mean, with social media, that's changed the pace of campaigns and how people can reach you. How do you see the things that have happened in this campaign, the divisiveness of it, the vitriol of it? We've not seen this in the debates. The candidates really, the debates were a good thing in general, right? But now the candidates have to come at it, and they're
the
going
supporters.
Yeah. So, and the supporters, exactly. So where do you see this heading to? I mean, is it really possible to get over that kind of vitriolic campaign and move forward to a better future?
It's always possible, and wala naman tayong choice kundi to hope, di ba? Diyos ko, otherwise, ba't pa tayo nandito?
Of course.
Mag-quit na tayo, di ba? So since, sabi ko nga, may mga laban na sadyang hindi binibitawan, isa na doon yung, well, first of all, to realize that, we waged very passionate campaigns, and to also realize na we hurt each other in the process. Yes, it's always possible to heal from that. Many societies aside from us who have gone through as bad or even worse electoral contests, basta magsisimula sa acknowledgement, and then kung saan tayo dapat humingi ng tawad sa isa't isa, gawin natin yun, and let's make amends. And the amends have to be concrete. Kung gaano ka-konkreto yung pananakit natin sa isa't isa, that's also how the only way we can heal. And it's both from the personal level to the institutional to the cultural. So yeah, we can do it if we set our minds to it.
Pia Cayetano said that these campaigns, this is the first time she saw the barangay, local politics move into the national stage. It's an interesting take,
And that's
right?
a positive thing.
Yeah, it is a positive thing, but
Yes.
that also was the explanation for the violence, the online violence, that people took it so personally. Do you agree with this? How do you see it?
That's interesting. I'll have to think about that. On first thought, kasi positive para sa akin if the barangay as an institution, as a community, as you said, as Senator Pia said, moved into national politics. Kasi importante yan, no? Yung diwa ng local government code,
Right.
Yung devolution of power, empowerment of the local communities. Pero kung ang lumipat din ay, yun na nga, yung anger, yung violence, yung vitriol, then we have to again think about how to heal that. So, laging bumabalik din sa komunidad, sa pamilya, sa sektor, etc. So, yeah, our work is cut out for us.
Come June 30th. So far the trend is in. I mean, 90% of the votes are in. I think the only thing we're waiting for really is the vice presidential race.
Yes.
That's very, very tight. I think it's 0.4%.
Wow.
Only 0.4%.
I have never loved math
refreshed,
so
sorry.
much as these days.
Grabe. So, how do you see the new Senate? Here's the senators to be, at least in terms of the results, with 90% of the results, it's not, it looks pretty much done that you would be in the Senate. How do you see the composition of this new Senate, and how will it change from what we know today?
Well, kailangan ko pang tignan yung posibleng 12 namin na papasok with the 12 to be retained. But yung isang tingin ko importante sa Senate, sa Congress as a whole, ay both in response to the authoritarian tendencies that have clearly remained from the past, at saka yung posibleng resurgence ng mga tendencies na iyon anytime in the future, importante talaga to continue repairing and strengthening the institution. So importante talaga, Maria, that the Congress, the legislature, be strong, be independent, kaya niyang i-engage yung executive in a constructive way at every possible moment. Kaya din niyang i-check siya, as is its mandate, its duty on behalf of the people. I-check any overreaching executive at sabihin, hindi yan ayon sa mga batas natin o hindi yan ayon sa mandate natin bilang mga taong gobyerno. And if I get to work in the Senate, I would try really my best to bring that strength and that independence to the institution.
Let me see if we're getting any questions from social media. SM, you guys want to send me? So on my feed, I see a lot of people tweeting what you said. On Duterte, what does he tap into? Something primal, something gut, something visceral, something emotional. Let me see. So, guys, if you have any questions, please send it. We are both on social media at Risa Hontiveros. Your last thoughts, Risa? I mean, this is, I think it's exciting.
Yeah.
It's super exciting right now until we know who wins in the vice presidential race. But your thoughts moving forward? You've gone through a grueling campaign period. How do you feel, and what do you see moving ahead?
I'm so tired, but I'm so energized. I'm sad, excited, happy. Siyempre, I expected a different outcome. I hoped for a different outcome. Mas yung pagpapatuloy ng pagbabago na binubuo na natin in the past 6 years. Pero, as I said, kaya kong respetuhin yung anong sasabihin ng ating mga kababayan, yung ating mga botante. And I think the shape of the next 6 years has largely changed. Mas challenging in a way. Iba yung tenor. Pero we've gone through perhaps worse times. We fought well during those times. We survived. At dun sa mga panahon na yon, we built ourselves and we generated the raw material to engage in citizenship and governance as we're doing now. So I continue to look forward with hope, same passion as before, at maasa talaga ako na, people are in this for the long haul. So, habang buhay na to. And no matter what comes our way, eto tayo at whatever point in life we are, ito yung bansa natin on the regional as well as global stage. And whatever dreams we have for our country, iba man yung pangalan niya during the campaign, I really believe lahat tayo mahal natin si Inang Bayan. So, we'll struggle through our mistakes and inadequacies para, to push forward a better future that we had wanted at the start of the campaign, and that definitely we can still work for from this day on.
Fantastic. Fantastic. Thank you so
Salamat.
much.
Marami.
We've been
Buhay.
speaking with Risa Hontiveros. As you can tell, she is firmly in the Magic 12, doing one step better than Manny Pacquiao in the results. You can see the results again. We're going to actually take a short break, and when we come back, you're going to have a new anchor. I'm going to say goodbye for a short while. Stay tuned. Give us about 5 minutes, and we'll be back. Thanks.